we're talking about polyrhythms today. Really fun stuff to do on the guitar. A lot of times you'll hear drummers talk about it, but guitar players, not as much. Drummers and piano players talk polyrhythms much more often, but we can definitely do them on guitar, and it's really fun. So I'm using the acoustic guitar. I'm using a classical guitar just because I like the sound of it. You can definitely do this on electric guitar too. All right, so let's get into it. So if you're watching this video, you probably already know what a polyrhythm is. But in case you don't, a polyrhythm is basically two different rhythms occupying the same amount of time. So like dividing a beat in two, or dividing a bar in two and dividing it in three at the same time and playing those subdivisions. So what we're going to do on the guitar is we're going to have the thumb playing our primary rhythm, which is the 2. So we're thinking 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we want to get 3 beats to fit in that space of 2. All right? And that's going to be our 3/2 polyrhythm because it's 3 in the space of 2. You can think over just means in the space of, in the same amount of time as. So 3/2. To get this, I'm going to show you a kind of an equation to get any polyrhythm you want. What you're going to do is take your primary rhythm, and I like to think of this in two voices, like 2 staves even, to get some separation between them. The one is going to be doing our primary rhythm, and then on top we're going to take each of those beats and divide it into 3. So if we have our 1, 2, and we make each of those a triplet. Right? That's not the polyrhythm yet. Don't worry. Now what we need to do is group those triplets in groups of 2. So basically tie them together in groups of 2. So we had 6 triplets going on, or 6 eighth notes, right? For our 2 triplets. But we're going to turn those into 3 groups of 2 instead. So what we end up with, I think I'll put a little diagram of it here. What we end up with is this. So we've got our 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and we have our 3 on top. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Pretty cool, right? But that's not it. We're going to get into some cooler stuff. So the next step, this could also be written as quarter note triplets over 2 quarter notes. So like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take those quarter note triplets, and we're going to keep those just on an E. And we're going to alternate the bass notes. We're going to go A, E, and then F, C, F, C. I just picked 2 chords. You can do this with any 2 chords. I know they don't totally sound like chords yet, but they will. Trust me. Okay, so here's our polyrhythm with alternating bass notes. Starting to sound pretty cool, right? Nice. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to double it up. So instead of going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, we're going to go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 2. So it's good to practice this with a metronome as well. So let me turn the metronome on. Okay, so I've got my metronome going now. I'm going to put it at 60 beats per minute, all right? And I'm going to just show you what we've done so far. We got the quarter note at 60, and then we've got the quarter note triplets, and then we have the alternating bass line. So now we're gonna double it up, like I was saying. So now our thumb is playing eighth notes now, and our higher note is gonna be eighth note triplets. So we're gonna have. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is get these melody notes moving. So we're basing it on these two chords. This is going to be A minor 9. Put a diagram there. And we'll do this F13 with a sharp 11. Okay? And now our bass note, our bass note's just going to stay on one note for now, I think. We'll just go boom, 2, and 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and 1, and 2. Okay? And then these guys are going to go. So when we put them together, I'll get the metronome going. So here's our eighth note pulse. Okay, now let's put our chords with it. Oh shoot, I alternated the bass line. Well, let's keep the bass line the same. So here we go. Cool, right? So we're getting somewhere. Starting to sound like music a little bit. Okay, now what we're going to do, I'm just going to keep the metronome going. Hopefully it's not too annoying. Now what we're going to do is we're going to alternate the bass line and the melody line. So our bass line is going to be going... Our melody line is going to be going sweet. All right, let's put them together. This is cool. Awesome. So, doesn't stop there. We can get more interesting stuff happening. So, another thing that kind of goes hand in hand with polyrhythms, and I'll probably title this video so you know that I'm going to talk about this, is polymetrics. So, what polymetric playing is when you have you're playing a phrase that is not in the same time signature that you're playing in. So if I make a beat that's in 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then I play something like a 3-note phrase. So So it takes a while for it to wrap back around to 1. You can think of it. I do this with scales sometimes too, where I'll be playing a scale pattern that might be a 4-note pattern, like so 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, but then play it in triplets. So if we have our da 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 da. So I was playing that four note phrase or 8-note phrase and playing it in triplets. Let me do that again. So and so on. Right? So polymetric is different than polyrhythmic. But we can do both at the same time, which kind of like made my eyes start twitching and gave me a nosebleed when I was figuring this stuff out. So so this is how it's going to work. So we've got our higher notes doing the threes, right? 1 2 3 1 2 3, and then our lower notes doing the twos. 1 2 1 2. Now what if we make our threes, our 3 subdivision, do a 4-note pattern? So instead of going like we're going, so it's 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, but it's still on the triplet though. So if we have da 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 da, you hear the da 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 da, there's our triplet, da da da. Where it started again, right? Pretty cool, right? So now let's try that, and we'll keep our we'll keep these guys doing their normal thing. So it'll be like let's see if I can do it with this beat. We'll try that. Cool, right? So these guys are going 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and then these guys are going 1 triplet, 1 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 1 2 1 2. You know what I mean? Let's do it with the metronome. I bet you never heard somebody get so excited about using the metronome. I love using the metronome. All right, here we go. Yes. All right. I dig that. Okay. So that was putting the threes in a 4-note phrase. So our triplets in a 4-note phrase. You dig? Now, let's put the thumb, the bass notes that are doing just 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and we'll put them in a 3-note phrase. So we'll go like. Right? So it'll be like. So that's polymetric now too. So it'll be. Yeah, for this one we'll do. takes a few times for it to wrap back around. I wasn't counting. So there's our eighth notes now, doing a group of three, like a 3-note phrase. And our let's just make these guys simple. So it'll just be like, you know what I mean? So these guys are just doing back to their 3-note phrase. The triplets are doing the 3-note phrase. And then these guys are also doing a 3-note phrase. Okay, so sometimes I like to use a piece of yarn. And turn this metronome off for a second. I like to use a piece of yarn to kind of mute the strings a little bit. It gives it a more percussive sound. And since we're doing kind of drum stuff on the guitar, make this guitar a little bit more percussive. It'll still sound pretty, but it makes the notes shorter. Kind of muted a little bit, you know? I don't know if you can see that. Piece of string wedged in between and then tied. So let's get the metronome going again. So I got my strings a little bit muted now. And we're doing the... with the F chord, we'll go like... I gotta make some room for the diagrams or the sheet music or whatever I do. Okay. So how many times does it take to wrap back around? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Ah, it did it on the third one. Okay. How many times does it take this to wrap back around? Just once. Okay. So we got... I did it too many times. Here we go again. Sweet, right? Okay, that was keeping the triplets doing threes, and the eighth notes were doing a phrase of three, also doing threes. And it's kind of confusing, right? But that's why it like made my eyes start to twitch and my brain start to pour out of my ear. Okay, so now this is where it. This is like the ultimate challenge. So we're going to do our bass notes we're going to do them in groups of 3. So 1 and 2 and 2 and 1 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 and 2 and 1. Right? You get the idea? And then these guys are going to be doing their groups of 4. So it'll be like, it'll be triplet, 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 right? Or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think it might take a little bit longer for it to wrap back around. I'm going to try and keep the polyrhythm going until it would naturally start again. So I think it's 4 bars. it'll take 4 bars for it to wrap back around. So after 4 bars is where I will, and I'm thinking now in 3/4. I'm thinking like 1, because one of these rhythms is going to have to play over the bar line, and I'm making these guys play over the bar line. This one's going to be doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Or sorry, 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Make sense? 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, let's try it. Quarter note is on the click, and we're doing 1, 2, and 3 and. Okay. Sweet. So I think that's it for now. That is 2/3. Now I got some more stuff for 3/2. I got some more stuff for 4/3, 3/4, 5/4, 5/3, 3/5. Different stuff like that. So I'm going to try practicing this, and I will see you on the next one. All right.